This is Wahid Sheikh. Today, I speak here of what I believe is one of the most troubling developments of our time, the deterioration of the Indian judiciary. The starkest representation of the court's decline can be seen in its failure to perform as a counter-majoritarian court. The current government of Bharatiya Janata Party has openly espoused Hindutva, an ultra-nationalist ideology marked by extreme animus towards Muslims, Christians and other religious minorities. The result over the last few years can only be termed as an assault on human rights and religious freedom of minorities that is shocking both in its intensity and its brazenness. From illegal detention, torture and fake encounter killings of detainees to open assault against individuals like lynching, their sources of livelihood and in many cases their places of worship. Hundreds of Muslims have been arrested on trumped up charges of terrorism and have spent several years in prison before being finally acquitted. Unfortunately, I was also a victim of this anti-minority state machinery. I was targeted purely on the basis of my religious identity. I was falsely implicated and arrested in the 7/11 bomb blast train blast case. At the time of our arrest, we were very confident about the independence and honesty of the judiciary. In 2006, from the first day itself, the behavior of the court clearly indicated their pro-government leaning view. Glaring examples of omissions and commissions of the courts are as follows. Number 1. The charges put against us by the police were accepted prima facie and all our complaints were considered false and mere allegations with malified intentions, hence summarily rejected. Number 2, 7 cases were registered for 7 different blasts that occurred and the police demanded police custody in each of these cases and the court accepted the plea of the prosecutors. We were in police custody for about 17 to 18 days, 7080. The police used this time to frame us in conspiracy and extract false confessions under duress. Later, when the police came up with the theory that all the blasts were linked and under single conspiracy, the court again accepted their plea without questioning the earlier stand of the prosecution. Even when hospital reports and signs of torture were produced, the courts failed to take any action against the police. The court were of the belief that Muslims are the real terrorists and perpetrators of the crime and they are the ones who are making false allegations against the police. Number 4, all the special laws have become instruments in the hands of police to falsely implicate Muslim youth and keep them behind bars for years without hearing. When such laws are challenged, even the Supreme Court has failed miserably to give justice. Number 5, the Muslim implicated in terror cases are tried under 2 separate laws of the state, MCOC-A and one central law, UAPA. The MCOC-A confessions recorded before the police is admissible evidence against the accused. The police are thus able to extracting confessions under duress. The Malegaon blast case of Pragya Thakur and other is a glaring example where the charges under MCOC-A were dropped, whereas in our case, even the Supreme Court found it fit to apply MCOC against us. Bail is the right of every accused. However, it is very difficult for a Muslim to get bail even in minor cases, whereas people like Pragya Thakur are granted bail for flimsy reasons. Number 7. We had requested for medical treatment with doctor for our choice, which was rejected by courts. However, Pragya Thakur was granted hospitalization during custody and was even granted to get treatment from doctors of their own choice. Number 8. We had requested for use of laptop for legal documentation work, which was summarily rejected, whereas the Hindu Akis were easily granted this facility. Number 9. Parole, death parole and furlough are basic human rights of the all convicts accused, which are always rejected by the prison authorities in our case. Number 10. The court have continuously given time and patient hearing to all the prosecution witnesses, where the witnesses which we wanted to bring for our defense are either rejected or were not given a patient hearing. Number 11. Fair trial is the right of every citizen under the constitution, but Muslim never get it. Number 12. Speedy trial is the basic requirement of swift and fair justice system. However, cases involving Muslim accused drag on for years. Irony of fact that Mr. Arnab Goswami case is being heard on priority in a day. Seeing this double standard nature of the court, we had raised a banner of no faith against the judiciary in the year 2007. Courts are just following the dictates of those in power. Whatever defense witnesses were produced, the courts took selective inputs from their deposition and used them against us to sentence us to death and life imprisonment. The ATS wing of the police arrested in terror case, falsely implicated us, tortured us both physically and mentally, produced false witnesses against us, and the court, instead of minutely scrutinizing, became hand in glove with the investigation agency and supported all the falseness and lies. Muslims in India are facing harsh brutality of the police administration in one hand and biased approach of the courts on the other. It seems that being a Muslim in India in itself has become a crime.